On the show here today, we're not done focusing on cutting-edge technology in the health and the medical sector. What we're moving to next is a tiny device that is set to transform the world of medical diagnostics. What we're talking about today, just this small, is Pillbot. It's the world's first low-cost, disposable, remote-controlled endoscopy pill.
You heard that right. It's an endoscopy pill developed by the US-based company N18P. This robotic capsule is making its India debut at the AIG Hospital in Hyderabad. Let's take a closer look at how this groundbreaking tech could actually change the way gastrointestinal examinations are done and performed.
In a landmark moment for medical science, India has witnessed the debut of Pillbot, a tiny, swallowable robotic capsule designed to improve gastrointestinal diagnostics. Developed by California-based N18P, Pillbot eliminates the need for traditional invasive endoscopy procedures by offering a remote-controlled, high-resolution internal scan of the stomach. Before taking the Pillbot, patient only need to drink water to aid its journey through the digestive system. Once swallowed, the 13 mm by 30 mm capsule activates using its embedded camera and thrusters to navigate the stomach.
The robot that we put together is called Pillbot. Think of it like the tip of the endoscope. And it has similar things that the endoscope has. It has a camera, so you get a live video feed. There's a multi-flex circuit, so it has all the circuitry that is normally on the outside of the endoscope system. All of that capability is now built inside that tiny little robot. It has LEDs because in order to provide light inside the stomach. There's a data transceiver, so all the data transmits out wirelessly. And so that live video feed, there's no wires, all that transmits out directly to where the doctor is at, and they sees that live video feed.
Controlled remotely through a wireless device, even a smartphone, it provides real-time visuals to the doctors, allowing them to detect abnormalities like ulcers, bleeding, or other gastrointestinal conditions. After completing its task, the capsule naturally exits the body within 24 to 48 hours. With its promise of accessibility, affordability, and efficiency, Pillbot is poised to enhance gastrointestinal care globally. Bureau Report, CNN News 18.
Yeah. Okay, now to tell us more about all of this cutting-edge technology and its potential impact on healthcare in the Indian context, we're joined by the Padma Bhushan awardee, the chairman of AIG Hospitals, Dr. Nageshwar Reddy, with us this morning on the show. Dr. Reddy, thank you for joining us here on The Breakfast Club. Dr. Reddy, we believe you have the Pillbot handy. So if we could actually just start by sharing with our audiences what it looks like. And then also, Dr. Reddy, if we could ask you a little bit about the costs involved, because this is an interesting aspect of it. You don't need to actually go to hospital to see what's inside. I know doctors like you can access the visuals from home. So in one way, a patient is saving consultation costs, but also spending on the Pillbot. So how does the cost work?
Sonal and Toya, thank you for having me on the show. This is a very interesting technology, and this is the pill that we use. It's actually, if you see, it's very small, just like an antibiotic. And you see the lights coming there that are coming in this. Well, actually what happens is these are LED lights with the camera there on the top there. You swallow this pill, it goes inside the body, and then after it goes inside the body, the camera gets activated. There's batteries here, there's a transmitter here at the bottom. All this is technology packed into this. This transmits images by radio frequency to a television screen outside, or you can have a belt which actually receives all these images. Once it goes inside, it's a continuous video, approximately 60,000 frames we get throughout the gastrointestinal tract. This is a diagnostic pill that we got long back. This is very interesting because this was several years back. In late 1990s, Paul Swain, a friend of mine, a gastroenterologist in UK, was actually going in a flight and was sitting beside him Idan, a missile scientist from Israel. So Paul told him, look, you're developing missiles, why don't we do something like drones into the human body? And that's how the concept came. In 2000, Paul actually visited us and we gave him a lot of suggestions, and the first capsule endoscope. This was a refined version now came, and in 2001 we introduced this at the AIG hospitals. We've been using this extensively to study the body, but the problem with this capsule is that it goes inside, goes by peristaltic waves. You can't control it. You get beautiful pictures, but you can't direct it to the place you want and do surgeries. So right now, all the surgeries are done with endoscopy, which is a long tube that you put inside, then you can see cancers, remove them and so on. This is a revolution, but still it involves this endoscope. So what happened was about in 2010 or 15, that period we developed a concept at AIG where we can use this capsule in a therapeutic form, like a small robot. So this is like a drone. Can we convert this into a robot? Yes, we did. We could convert this. I made a lot of films and cartoons. In fact, the original capsule was based on a movie called The Fantastic Voyage, which was made to show how a Russian a spy who escaped from Russia, an American spy, had clots in the brain, and people were made into small miniatures, put in a capsule, sent to wipe it out. And that was the initial inspiration. But then when we made these films or cartoons where we showed that the capsule actually can go to the site of the lesion, do surgeries and remove them, Dr. Vivek Kumbari, who was a professor of gastroenterology at the Mayo Clinic, and Alex, who was a space scientist in Stanford, came together. They took these cartoons and asked me, can we take a permission to make something like this into an actual pill? And then they worked for it for a long time, almost now 8 or 9 years. Finally came out with this new Pillbot, which we demonstrated last week at the AIG. This is very unique. Actually, you swallow this capsule, and then it's got a, you can actually direct it, remote control using joysticks. You can joysticks, it can go like a submarine in the water. It finds the spot where this lesion is, and then actually you can now direct it wherever you want. So the next development is going to be into making it into do procedures actually. We can attach small arms to this, and with these arms it can cut the early cancers, or it can stop bleeds. All this technology is coming very fast. In fact, next year, middle of next year or later part of next year, we're going to have the first version commercially available, and the cost is going to be very cheap. The original capsule was costly because of all the technology. The current one, each capsule can be made for $35. Can you imagine $35, which is you know, less than 5,000 rupees.
Yeah.
And once we attach therapeutic potentials, it's got a huge potential because theoretically you can be sitting Sonal in Delhi, I can give you the capsule, and from Hyderabad I can control the capsule here, go to the spot where if you have a bleed or a early cancer and remove it from here. That's the potential it's got. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to revolutionize how we practice medicine. And in about 5 years' time, I can see that our practice, at least in gastroenterology, is going to be different from what we are doing right now. And also, I think this is going to spread to other specialties also, and we are going to get capsules in other areas. But this is just the beginning of a new revolution in medicine.
Dr. Reddy, a drone inside the body, it really does sound like a marvel. But tell us, at the moment, is this already in use in India, and who all can actually take advantage of this tech?
Currently, we are using this diagnostic capsule. It's available for everybody. But what we are going to, when this Pillbot comes, which is somewhere next year, it will be available. But what we are going to do is to do it in a very staggered fashion. Only some big institutions would have it to validate all the things that we are doing with this. And once we are very sure, it will be widely available. My belief is in 2 years' time, it will be available to anybody. Tomorrow, you can just go to a doctor and say, look, I want to see what's inside my body. Can you use this Pillbot and direct it towards whatever lesion? You should be able to do it. And finally, I see long term, where this can be available in supermarkets. You know, you just put some coins or rupees or whatever it is, to get a Pillbot and put it into your body, and you can because it's very easy to direct it. It's like a submarine swimming in water. It's a small robot in the intestinal tract. You can direct it to wherever you want, and then do all sorts of surgical techniques to remove tumors and so on. So I think it's going to greatly enhance our capability to diagnose all these cancers or tumors, ulcers very early before they go into complication. And ultimately, it's going to save a lot of cost because then you don't require hospitalization, all types of surgeries and so on.
Dr. Reddy, I was reading that experts and those who actually worked on this are also excited to see how AI will tie together with this. So, as AI itself develops, the ways in which it could tie together. Can you just explain that to us?
Yeah, that's a very interesting concept. What's going to happen is right now it's a drone, it's going to become a robot soon, very soon. And then you add AI, it's a artificially intelligent robot. You can imagine what all we can do with it. For example, right now when we put this Pillbot, we have to search for the lesion. I have to see where the ulcer is, where the cancer is, and try and navigate it towards that. But if you have artificial intelligence will sense before itself. It doesn't take a long time. We'll immediately get to that spot. And once we see this tumor, the artificial intelligence, we are already doing it with our endoscopes. The artificial intelligence will tell us whether this is a dangerous tumor, whether it's an ordinary tumor which can be left alone, how deep should we cut to take it out, and so on. We are now doing it with a regular endoscope. It's called CADX and CAD-E, where we use this technology. But just imagine putting into a small capsule like this and using it, it's going to be remarkable in that sense. So artificial intelligence robot is going to be the future, and not very long future. It's going to be very soon now coming.
Dr. Reddy, it's been an eye-opening chat trying to understand about this Pillbot. You're saying anywhere, and it's in the near future. Within the next 2 years, you're saying it's going to be available for all of us to sort of try on. That's equally fascinating. And can I just say it's equal measure fascinating and equal measure scary as well. So
and
let's
so
see.
Cool.
And let's see what actually comes out of it. Thank you so much for joining us with all the latest and giving us a glimpse of that Pillbot.